Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for 6 things we learned from Southampton 0, Chelsea 6. I'm absolutely buzzing. I could have been at a Peggy Goo concert today, but I said no because I had a little feeling that Chelsea were going to be in devil revenge mode today, and that was exactly what it was. Chelsea were absolutely magnificent. We go to Southampton, we win 6-0, but quite frankly, this could have been a cricket score. This could have been absolutely massive. And Fraser Forster is really the only reason, and the flipping frame of the goal, why it wasn't double figures. At one point today, I'm thinking Southampton might actually have to deactivate as a football club as a result of the hiding that Chelsea gave them today. It was such a weird game in the sense of, I don't think I've ever seen Chelsea play against such an abject team in quite some time. Even Norwich, who are actually bottom of the league, who we scored 7 against at Stamford Bridge earlier this season, even Norwich aren't as bad as what Southampton were today. When they were 6-0 down with 20 minutes to go, it's like they thought, we could actually start defending here. That'd be a bloody good idea, wouldn't it, ladies and gentlemen? But taking nothing away from Chelsea, we desperately needed that. We needed a performance. We needed a clean sheet, having conceded 7 goals in 4 or 5 flipping days. And it is a massive performance from some players who we weren't expecting necessarily to be putting in such great performances. Timo Werner looked like the Leipzig Timo Werner that we thought was going to be a Premier League goal-scoring machine. He was magnificent today. Mason Mount, incredible. But we begin box number 1. I've given out a blue box today for Mason Mount. I would have given it to Werner, but he hit the woodwork so many times that he should have at least had a hat-trick. But Mason Mount, let's talk about him for a second. The goal he scored, the first one, absolutely magnificent. But it wasn't just that. It looked as though, with the buzz cut, Big Mason joins the buzz cut gang. But what it was from Mason today was when he didn't have the ball, he was fighting for it. He looked like a man who was fighting for the Chelsea shirt after 2 embarrassing results and poor performances. We needed that. And I said it on Twitter earlier this week that there is enough characters, there are enough players in this current Chelsea squad who really care about the badge and about the shirt, that when we go on these little runs, I believe that we're always going to bounce out of these bad runs of form. Mason Mount I thought was excellent, even though, like I said, abject from Southampton, he loves a goal against them. He's a Portsmouth boy. Mason Mount I thought was excellent. He's box number 1. Box number 2 is Timo Werner. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but he was magnificent today. There was only really one thing that bugged me, and that is that the one that hit the crossbar, he's got to score. And I will say this, as great as I think Werner was today, and as soon as he got that first goal, you could see the confidence. He could have had a double hat-trick. He could have had 6 goals quite easily today, Timo Werner. But everything he did was good in the sense as it was direct. The only concern I would have is that there were a couple of times where he kind of seemed to be scared of going in for a 50-50. And I don't know if that's simply he's lost that predator instinct a little bit, but with the 2 goals he scored, it certainly looks to me as though that player that we know is there, it just hasn't come out enough at Chelsea. Against Southampton, he does very well. And I think that's now his 4th goal he scored against the Saints in his time at the Blues. But it was magnificent. He did all of the running, got into great positions, had plenty of opportunities, was unlucky to not at least get the hat-trick. But 2 goals, massive confidence. Romelu Lukaku is currently out with an Achilles injury. Kai Havertz came off, but he was also very good. We move into box number 3. Mateo Kovacic back in the starting 11. There was part of me that wanted to kind of give Kovacic a blue box, just to simply state the point of how important this man is in bringing balance and bringing fluidity to the Chelsea midfield. Jorginho recently hasn't quite been at the level that we need him to be. Kovacic today absolutely bossed everything. What Kovacic does that Kante doesn't necessarily do as much now as he used to, and that Jorginho struggles with, is carrying the ball. Chelsea dominated Southampton in the middle of the park. N'Golo Kante looked very good again today. Didn't give him a box because I think Kovacic was so important to how Chelsea played, how we got the ball moving quickly, how he picks it up in defensive areas. comes back to support Thiago Silva, Rudiger and Christensen, and he just did such a brilliant job of nullifying any presence that Southampton had in the midfield. Kovacic is the most important midfielder, and if Chelsea have any chance, which of course we do, of going to Real Madrid and somehow turning that deficit around, it's going to be if Mateo Kovacic is starting in the starting 11 against Real Madrid. He's got to play. He is so important to this team. Chelsea do look so more compact, so more fluid with a Kovacic-Kante partnership, whether that is with another Ruben Loftus-Cheek or Jorginho alongside them in a 3 or in a 2. I think it is definitely the most fruitful way for Chelsea to keep on winning. I'm checking my phone to remember what I wrote down for the order of the boxes. Box number 4 is Marcos Alonso. We've said it before, and I very recently said that I don't think he should wear the shirt again. And then whenever these kind of performances happening, Alonso puts in a shift that reminds us that he can actually be a very bloody useful player. The goal he scored, it's a brilliant strike. And again, Alonso could have had 2 or 3 himself. I do not remember, and I keep stressing this every 5 seconds, but when was the last time Chelsea dominated and looked that confident as we did today? Southampton made us look good because they've kind of been on a weird run. They've only had 1 point from their last 4 games, and that was against Leeds from a James Ward-Prowse magical free kick. So they've been out of form, but even today, Chelsea players who have also been out of form, such as Alonso, looked excellent again. And we know with Alonso that even if sometimes he gets caught out, particularly against pacey fullbacks of opposition teams and pacey wingers, he's got that in his locker. He can strike the ball brilliantly, and he was excellent again today. Box number 5, I thought it was Maradona running around the pitch in that first half. Kai Havertz gets himself a goal, courtesy of the ball hitting the post from Timo Werner again, comes out to Havertz, and he scores. But he's just so silky on the ball. We're seeing at the moment, with all of the chaos and controversy regarding what's happening to the ownership of Chelsea off the field. I say this often, but Kai Havertz is the man who this team should be built on for the next generation. I think Kai Havertz is that good. He's so important to this team. As I said earlier, Lukaku's out with an Achilles injury. We wish him the best, but right now, Kai Havertz cannot be dropped from this Chelsea team. He came off, but I thought he was absolutely brilliant. We finish box number 6 for Thomas Tuchel. 6 things we learned, 6 goals. Let's see if we can hit 6,000 likes on this video today. But Tuchel, I looked at the starting 11 and I was worried. Even though Southampton have been out of form, even though Chelsea have got a very good record at St Mary's, I think the last time we lost was like 9 years ago from a Ricky Lambert free kick, if I remember correctly. But Thomas Tuchel today got it right. We managed to rest Reece James, which is very important to make sure that he's not injured going into that game against Real Madrid. He's been picking up lots of knocks recently. And Timo Werner gets given the chance again. And this is the time where Timo Werner keeps getting close to like last chance saloons. But this one, Tuchel picks him vindicated. There was, part of me was thinking, well, would be nice to see Ziyech, would be nice to see Pulisic out there today. So what I'm trying to say is I didn't fully agree with the team sheet when I saw it. But then come the end, to put in that kind of powerful performance, to score 6 goals with no reply, and considering everything that the manager's currently going through, be it off the field, dealing with the stress of the last 2 results as well, Thomas Tuchel got everything spot on today. Chelsea go to Southampton, we dominate them, we win 6-0, and now we've got to look forward to a massive, massive game against Real Madrid in just a couple of days' time. Real Madrid will look at this and think, well, we're not going to give them that many chances. We're not going to allow Chelsea to just keep control of the ball, keep going forwards the way that Southampton did today. It's a massive result because Frankie Lampard's Everton got the result we needed against United. United are pretty much out of the top 4 race now, in my opinion. Arsenal beaten at home to Brighton as well. Capitulation from Mikel Arteta's men. This is a very, very big day for Chelsea today. Spurs are playing, I think, now. So if they don't get a result, this could go down as one of the pivotal games in Chelsea's season to make the top 4. Delighted with this one, absolutely buzzing. Had a heavy night last night too, said no to Peggy Goo, and Chelsea win 6-0. Come on you Blues, bring on Real Madrid.